Have you ever given it a thought that every step you take, every word you speak, and every click you make is being watched, analyzed, and recorded? In a world where technology has become the ultimate observer, we find ourselves at a critical crossroads. The questions that echo through the shadows are these. Are we sacrificing our privacy for the illusion of security? Can we trust the guardians of our data to prioritize our best interests? And what will it take to strike a delicate balance between safety and individual rights? We live in a world where surveillance has become predominant, where every move is captured by a twisted web of cameras, sensors, and algorithms. The invisible forces that watch over us have the power to protect, but also the power to intrude. As we navigate this complicated dance between surveillance and autonomy, we must confront the profound ethical implications that arise. Who holds this immense power? And more importantly, who guards against its misuse? Let's talk about the ethics of surveillance, how technology is monitoring our every move. Prepare yourself for a captivating exploration that will change your beliefs, burn up your passions, and raise the curtain on the hidden world of surveillance. This is a critical conversation we can no longer afford to ignore. Technology has put together its web of surveillance around us. From the moment we step outside our doors to the minute we lay our heads on our pillows, cameras capture our every interaction, algorithms analyze our online behavior, and data brokers track our personal information. But at what cost? We find ourselves at the crossroads of progress and privacy, fighting over the implications of a hyper-connected world. As technology advances, so does the reach of surveillance, leaving us pondering the delicate balance between security and personal freedom. Stories of unauthorized access, data breaches, and misuse of personal information have dominated headlines, filling public debates on the ethics of surveillance. Who holds the power and who bears the consequences? It's been centuries since the idea of monitoring first emerged. Governments, organizations, and people have employed different techniques to monitor and collect data about people. But as technology has developed, surveillance has become more sophisticated and advanced. The technology that monitors us is continually growing, from CCTV cameras to facial recognition softwares. It has sparked a discussion on the ethics of surveillance and its possible effects on our right to privacy and other civil liberties. The possibility of power abuse is one of the critical issues with surveillance. There is a chance that vast information about people could be abused or exploited when governments and other organizations access it. The potential for surveillance to reduce our freedom and autonomy is another issue. Even if it conflicts with our ideas or values, we could feel under pressure to follow social norms when we are aware that we are being watched. Free speech and expression could be inhibited because people might be reluctant to speak up or criticize the status quo. In addition, people may have psychological repercussions as a result of surveillance. Awareness of constantly being watched can cause paranoia, worry, and tension. Our well-being and mental health may suffer as a result. In the current digital era, the pervasiveness of technology has allowed businesses to gather enormous amounts of user data. While the firms provide a number of useful services, it is no secret that they track and keep an eye on user activity across all of their platforms. Data collection mechanisms. Google uses a variety of ways for collecting data. Google Search keeps track of your search terms, browsing history, and search result clicks when you use the service. The popular web browser Google Chrome keeps track of user interactions and page visits. Google's suite of applications, including Gmail, Drive, and Maps, also collect information on email content, file uploads, and location, respectively. Additionally, the Google-developed Android operating system gathers data from device using this platform, including app usage, device settings, and even sensor data. Transparency is one of the fundamental ethical considerations that ought to drive our approach to surveillance. People have a right to know when and why they are being watched. Governments and organizations ought to be upfront and honest about their monitoring practices and the goals behind them. By doing so, power abuses can be avoided and trust and accountability can be increased. Proportionality is another crucial rule. Given the threat or risk, surveillance should be employed only when necessary and appropriate. Before using surveillance, governments and other organizations should look into less invasive alternatives, and their justifications for doing so should be evaluated frequently. Conclusion: the ethics of surveillance are complicated and numerous. To sum up, while surveillance has the potential to be a helpful tool for deterring crime and preserving public safety, it also has the potential to be exploited and misused, which could compromise our civil rights and our right to privacy. To ensure surveillance does not maintain already existing disparities, it is crucial to approach it with transparency, proportionately, and respect for individual rights.